everything you want is going to manifest. It is the law. It is the law of attraction. Everything that you want, the second that you decided that you wanted it, it became a vibrational reality. It launched and became this vibrational reality. And this vibrational reality will turn into the physical reality. So in this cosmic equation of manifestation, what's required of you, the creator? Well, you already did the work. You already sifted through the contrast. You already experienced something you didn't want. And since you experienced something you didn't want, the other side of that wave, the other side of that stick was now born as a result of your exposure to what you didn't want. So bam, now what you want is more clearly defined. So your work is done. You have already done it. Your work has now been complete because as a result, you have set this rocket into motion. You have set this desire into motion. And now, if you don't kill this desire, you will experience it. And all of your desires, you should be experiencing. There shouldn't be much of a lag time between wanting something, the inception of an idea, and the full fruition, the full physical manifestation of it. And if there is a lag time, it just means that you're spending more of the time in the interim not seeing it and complaining about not seeing it. And in not seeing it, you're applying more effort instead of allowing. The only thing that's required of your manifestations to actually actualize and manifest for all to see, whether it is those small things or those big dreams like the dream house, the dream career, anything that you may classify as a dream, it's not a dream. It is a true reality. And if you're calling it a dream, it means that you were in that high flying vortex of creation. You were in that vibrational reality. You were tuned to source energy. And while you were tuned to source energy, something was revealed to you in the form of an image in your mind, and that's what you're calling your dream career, except it's not a dream. It is something that is a done deal. It's truly your present reality. It's your current reality. It's your vibrational reality. And while vibrational reality is different because it's different than a physical reality, and it's because you're truly vibrational. You are more than your body. You are more than you see in this body. You are more than you can even perceive in this body. And it's not that you can't perceive beyond this body, is that you have to use this body to perceive the moreness that you are. And the moreness that you are is vibrational. And the best way to understand vibrational, and the only way that you can perceive a vibration, is emotion. And we're not gonna get too carried away with this vibrational talk, but what we are gonna really talk about is the manifestation, is allowing. And that's really interesting because what does allowing require? Allowing requires focus. And when we talk about focus, you're used to focus in an action world. Focus is used for productivity, is used to get the problem created. And not only is the problem created, but the problem is continued to think about. But what's interesting about allowing is that the problem and the solution are always on two different frequencies. So there's a problem and then there's a solution. And when you're tuned to the frequency of the problem, then the solution is out of sight. And when you feel for the solution and you calibrate to the frequency of the solution, then the problem is out of sight. And that's what we're talking about. We want you to decalibrate or move yourself away or deactivate the problem and activate the solution. And in activating the solution, the problem must fall away, and the solution must be your actualized 5 cents translatable, everyone can see it reality. That's the way it should be, and that's the way it is. It's interesting because that's what's happening. You're always creating your reality. You are the creator of your reality. And if you're continuing to get the same results, it means that your reality is just changing to more and more of the same, because you don't change your beliefs, you don't change your habits, because when you see something, you give all of your attention to it because you're used to a physical reality. But now as you understand that you're vibrational, then now you're going to give some more airtime to the vibrational reality, to the feeling reality. And that's what we're going to talk about, because feeling and allowing really go in the same sentence, because you have to allow. You can't approach manifestations like, okay, when I'm going to apply this, and to apply it, I'm going to apply it, and I'm going to do something I don't want to get something that I do want later. I'm going to do this so I can get the benefit later. And that's not how manifestation works. That's not how allowing works. This now moment is your only manifestation. This is your moment, because this is the moment where your point of attraction is being emitted. Your vibration in this moment equals your point of attraction, and law of attraction is responding to that frequency vibration that you are emitting, and is matching, gathering cooperative components. So that puts you not in a pivotal position, because you have ultimate lives. But what it does put you in is, in this moment, the thought that you're thinking really matters, because it's either this thought will pull you towards all of your desires, or away from all of your desires. And the only way to discern it is by how you feel. So that really is your work. Your work is to allow. And the thing about allowing is really interesting, because when you think of allowing, we're really talking about focusing for the pleasure. Because when you think of focusing, you're only focusing for productivity, but we're saying focus for the pleasure, focus for the pleasure. And that's what your goal as a creator is, to focus for the pleasure. And how exactly do you focus for the pleasure? It means that when you think about your desire, you're only going to think about your desire for the pleasure, for the feeling it gives you, because what you want isn't here yet, but it's vibrationally here. And when something is vibrationally here, you can only emotionally experience it. And we want the emotion to be enough. You know, it's those desires that you know for a fact you're going to have. And so in the not having of it, you're not so twisted and twirled over it. You're not in so much resistance because you know you're going to experience it. And it's the same way with, you know, the physical journeys that you take to go from point A to point B, whatever your destinations are. Midway through the journey, you don't get sort of confused, and you don't get conflicted, and you don't turn back around and go exactly the way that you just came. You continue going on with your journey because you understand that journey. And all of your manifestations are exactly like that. They're all these little journeys that you can actually quantify and understand, because the journey from not enough money to more money is allowing. It's understanding, allowing. And every thought that counts counts. Every thought matters, because every thought is either going with the flow or going against the flow. And so we're saying, why not go with the flow? Because when we're talking about emotion, what we're really talking about is you right here standing where you are, and you figuring out what your mood is. What is your mood? How do you feel? How exactly do you feel? Because how you feel is indicative of your own point of attraction. Your point of attraction is really important, as I just said, because that's what law of attraction is responding to. So you can change your point of attraction. You can actually deliberately change and affect your point of attraction so you can get the desired outcome. Because what we're talking about is manifestation. We're talking about creation. But the thing about creation is that you have to remember that when we're talking about timing, when we're talking about shortening the gap, what we're really talking about is momentum. We're talking about momentum speeding up. And for momentum to speed up, you have to have focus that's not debilitated by resistance, focus that's pure. And when focus is pure, it feels good to you. So when we talk about timing, we're talking about momentum. And when we're talking about momentum, we're always talking about focus. And when we're talking about focus, we're talking about motion. You have to factor in how you feel, because when you talk about how you feel, now you got it. Because the only manifestation that matters is how you feel right now. There's no future manifestation that you're going to get to. This now moment is all you have. You have to take care of this moment. You have to make yourself feel better, and not in the vein of, I'm going to do something that I don't want to do right now to get to where I want to go, because that's the false premise that many of our human friends are operating on. And you can get by and get small manifestations, but you don't get the big stuff because there's no effort required, because you have already created the creation. Now, when you're thinking about your desire, it's only for the pleasure. And what does that really mean? How do you think about your desire for the pleasure? It means that, oh, that's really interesting. That's actually a very leading edge question. How do you think about your desire in a way that's conducive to your alignment? To understand that the only reason why you're thinking of this desire is for your alignment, is for how you feel in this now moment. It's like, think about, you know, imagine if you're going on a trip next week, and as you consider this trip and you get excited over this trip, you're not even there. You're not even on the plane yet. But yeah, you're over here a week before you're about to head onto the plane, before you've packed anything, and you're enjoying everything. You're running the events in your mind, you know, the plane ride and the food and all the new experiences, and you're catching in that vibrational currency, meaning you're experiencing things that are not necessarily in front of your face right now. You're experiencing things emotionally with your imagination, and you're using your imagination. You're using your mind function in a very productive way. You're actually using your mind function to create images, to receive images from the vortex that actually feel really good to you. And that's the really important piece, is that it feels good to you. Everything has to feel good to you. Every process about manifestation is to get you to feel good where you stand right now, because the only thing that's stopping you from manifesting everything that you want right now is the dissatisfaction that you feel right now. So if we're talking about quantifying your journey, every thought that you're thinking is either so let's think of it like this. So if there's something that you want, right, where you stand right now is your point of attraction. So how you think about this desire is either going with the flow or against the flow, meaning it feels good or it doesn't feel good. It feels satisfying or it does not feel satisfying. So that's up for you and your guidance system to help you to discern. Because when a thought feels good to you, then it's for sure you're going to experience it, because you can't have consistent good feeling thought about a subject and not be able to experience the full manifestation. In fact, if you feel good about your manifestation, if your thoughts are regularly, consistently good about your manifestation, regarding your manifestation, meaning it feels good, you know it, then that manifestation is something that you're going to experience relatively very, very fast. And the thing is, we don't want the speed of it to be what you're looking for, because we want you to cash in right now in this moment. We want you to feel the relief of having this manifestation. We want you to enjoy this manifestation. We want you to understand that the only manifestation that has ever mattered, that we've ever been talking about, is where you stand right now and how you feel right now, because that is true success. Many people think success is how much accolades you have, and they look at their lives from, you know, a bird's eye view, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about right here in this now moment, because all the stuff stuff in the past doesn't matter. And you know why it doesn't matter? Because your source energy never looks back. Your source energy is only your inner being. Who you really are is always looking forward. And you know why that really matters? You know why that matters, that your inner being only looks forward and never looks back? Is because your other point of relativity is your inner being. So your inner being's opinion really matters. So if your inner being's opinion really matters, then you have to factor that in. You can't look back. Looking back can't be as interesting to you. Looking forward must be interesting. And yeah, our human friends, they like looking at things from, weighing the pros and cons. They like to consider how other people may think of them. So they factor that in, but all that stuff doesn't really matter because you're the creator. And what are you creating though? If you're the creator, what are you creating? You're not creating the physical manifestations, right? Because you're not the creator of the physical manifestations. You're the molder of the energy. You're the molder of emotions. With your emotions, you mold with your emotions, meaning you mold how you feel right now. So when you think about your desire, you're molding the way that you feel about your desire. You're not molding the way that you talk about or what you talk about your desire or what words that come out of your mouth, because the universe doesn't hear your words. It doesn't even respond to your words. It responds to the vibration that you're trying to hide or express with your words. So it's all about how you feel. So as you understand that the real clay of creation is emotion, is vibration. So the best way to say it, the only way for you to perceive it right now in the vibrational stage is emotion. Then now you get it. Now you understand that this right here in this now moment right now is how you feel, and that's always been the manifestation. There's no future manifestation, because when the future comes, it's just going to be another now moment. So friends, go and manifest everything that you want, but the true manifestation is how you feel right now. So what this understanding really gives you is that you can really have everything that you want. You understand the laws of the universe. You understand that everything you want already exists right now vibrationally. So there doesn't have to be sort of a freaking out. There doesn't have to be that tantrum, because everything is viable. Everything you can experience right now. The universe can make everything change overnight. The timing is never a factor. When we're talking about timing, we're talking about being a match, and being a match means how good you feel, and how good you feel is always subject to change right now. You can change how you feel. While you can't change your bank account, you can't change how many subscribers you have or how many words you have written of this manuscript or screenplay. You can change how you feel, and in changing how you feel, in tuning into the problem and deactivating, or in tuning into the solution and deactivating the problem, momentum picks up relatively really fast. You're living in a time and space, in a time now where momentum is moving faster than ever. So enjoy that. Use that to your advantage. Feel good about your manifestations, because you can go very general. You understand the laws of the universe. You understand that if I want something, it already exists vibrationally. And now for me to get it, or for me to perceive it, turning from a vibration into a thing, I just have to get better at perceiving, which means that I have to feel good about this. And what's there not to feel good about? Yeah, there's all the details about when and exactly how it's gonna happen, but none of that stuff is my job. My job is to just know why I want it, and I know why I want it because it feels good. And right now I feel good, and me feeling good right now, that's exactly what my manifestation will feel like. And since this manifestation, meaning this moment, is a real manifestation, meaning that's what the real money in the bank, that's the real, that's the real point of understanding manifestation, of being the creator of what I came here to experience, of this now moment, being the alignment, the moment of alignment, or the moment of alignment to something that was not a match to my source energy. That was the real manifestation all along. And as you understand that, then you can really enjoy the journey, and you can actually manifest everything that you want, because you know how to do it. You know that there's no effort required. And when you're focusing, what's there for you to understand? Because you have to strike a really good balance between allowing and efforting, because let's say focus and allowing, because focus and allowing, you have to strike that balance, because allowing means allowing. You have to allow, but you also want to focus. You don't just want to forget about all your desires. You want to think. So you have to strike that balance between this thought only being about the pleasure and not being about the future manifestation, or not being about the productivityness of it. It's only about the pleasure. So that's something for you to understand. And a really good tip with that is just let it be about pleasure. And think about when something is about pleasure, it just feels good. You just keep talking about how good it feels. And the better it feels, the more you just want to talk about it. And the more you want to talk about it, the more momentum speeds up. And the more momentum speeds up, the faster you get your manifestation.